So I'm going to show you guys how I edit my basketball pictures, just because some people are asking about how I make the background darker, and I do that to separate the subject from the background a lot easier. As you can see, this isn't as close as I would want it, so I am going to first edit the size, just so that way it is better. I'm also going to look at to make sure that it lines up straight up and down. You can also use this auto and see if it does anything differently and see how you like it. When I also edit it, I also want to keep some of the floor at times, just that way I know what we're looking at, see how high he is. This depends. So let's do this one. See how I had it with the other one. Alright, yeah. So I could do it that way. I mean, I had it a little bit higher, which is fine. The next thing that you can do is, I usually just do auto setting here, just to see what it shows me. That brings in a lot of detail into the uniform and then the face, so forth like that. And then for me, the gym that I usually shoot at sometimes has this weird red glow because of the lights. Each of these lights are different throughout the gym, so I'll get a red cast at times, and that's also why I lower it. Or I'll change the white balance and I'll look it to make it a little bit more blue, just so that way I can look more towards the subject. Now, for the background, what I usually do is I'll click on this. This is going to be one of your masks. And so we have subject, sky, which is not here, and background. Also, you have person, so it'll highlight it. So for the most part, that's pretty good. But as you can see right here, that's going to have to be fixed. But for the background, let's just do the background and see what we get. Alright, so there's that mask. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit a little bit and subtract from there, and then I'm going to have to add into that. So we can do that here, but first let's do the background. So I'll underexpose it quite a bit just to see what I want, what looks decent to me. So here's about 3/4 of a stop. Let's go to a full stop and see what it is. So even to a full stop, and that's, somewhere around there is fine. So then what I'll do now is I'll hit add brush, and so now I have the brush, and then I can change into there. So let's get closer, and that way we can just brush this in, so that way it stays the same with the background. Now, since I'm not really doing this for some type of media or professional thing, I'm not as meticulous as I could be. And then let's go up here, and then what we'll do is we'll do subtract. So subtract brush, and then we'll just click this. That way it's nice and bright like the rest. So, if I really want to get into it, I guess I could add it again and fix this right here. It can be tough and daunting to do all that, just because you have to get through all the webbing of the net. But, it's basically how do you want to do it, and how much time you want to spend messing around with stuff like this. Okay, so that's pretty decent for that. What I'll also do is I'll add some texture, usually 10 to 20, clarity too, and then also dehaze, just to try and make it not as foggy. So here I'm going to have to go through it some more. So if I want to go back to mask, I'll click on that, and then it'll just be brush 1, just to darken it up just a little bit back again. And then what you can do is I'll add some contrast, take away a little bit of saturation, And then I'll just do medium contrast for that. That way it makes everything nice. And then for the most part it's good. Sometimes depending on how red the overcast will be, I can take away some purples and some reds. And that's for the most part pretty decent. Maybe I might drop down some of the whites. But that's pretty much all I do. And the last thing I do to help with the background noise is I'm going to just use denoise. I do about between 50 to 55%, and it's pretty good otherwise. So it takes some time to do that, and then that's pretty much it. But if you really wanted to, you could get more in depth. You can do a lot more to fix it how you want to fix it. But for the most part, this is just pretty easy. And some people have a lot of presets. So one thing you should know is once you hit denoise and it's running, don't do any changes to the picture, because if you change something in the picture while it's doing the denoise process, it'll erase everything. So, and you're going to have to redo it. So just do that. And then that's pretty much it. Let's see if it's close to how I did it before. Let's see. That one's a little bit more warmer, but that's pretty much it.